Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take stacks of information and, well, distill them into the essentials you need to be truly informed. Today, we're diving deep into a really fascinating question. Can you actually fast-track your career, get global leadership skills, and fundamentally transform your professional life, all in just one intensive year? That's the core idea behind the one-year MBA programs in India. We've got a lot of material here from some of the country's top institutions, and we're going to unpack it all for you.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is how these programs, even though they're all squeezed into a year, they each seem to have their own distinct identity, their own focus. So we'll explore who they're really designed for, what kind of learning environment you can expect, and how they connect you to, well, a pretty powerful global network. Our mission today is basically to help you understand how these fast-track degrees are shaping leaders here in India and, what that might mean for your career path.
Okay, let's get into it. We hear one-year MBA thrown around, but what exactly is that in the Indian context, and how does it really differ from the, let's say, the traditional two-year programs people might know better?
Right. So at their core, these are super intensive full-time programs, and usually residential too. The key difference from longer programs like, say, IM Bangalore's PGP, that's their postgraduate program, or IM Calcutta's standard two-year MBA, is that these one-year versions are specifically built for experienced professionals. They really build directly on the work experience you already have. The goal: to accelerate your career, prep you for senior management, and often they act as a big catalyst for making significant career changes. And, many of these places, like IIM Ahmedabad, Calcutta, Indore, Lucknow, SPJMR, they hold the Triple Crown accreditation: AACSB, AMBA, ACREIS.
The Triple Crown, that's a
Yeah.
big deal, right?
Huge deal. It's like the global gold standard. Less than 1% of business schools worldwide have it. It signals, top-tier quality. It's also worth noting the actual degree you get can vary. Sometimes it's an MBA, sometimes a PGPM postgraduate program in management, or even a diploma. IIM Ahmedabad in Bangalore, for instance, they award an MBA. Great Lakes gives a PGPM. ISB offers a PGP, another postgraduate program. And we even saw some mentions, like from IM Calcutta and Lucknow, about ongoing talks with the Ministry of Education about the exact degree status. So something to keep an eye on.
Okay, so definitely for people already in their careers, not for fresh graduates. But who's the ideal person for these high-intensity programs? Is it just about hitting a specific number of years of experience, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's much more than just the years. Experience is crucial, yes, but the admissions folks are looking deeper. Take IIM Ahmedabad. They're looking for people who will contribute proactively, share insights from their work and life, and show a clear desire for intellectual growth. ISB, similarly, wants people with substantive leadership potential, a real drive, and the motivation to make a difference. The minimum experience does vary, though. It's typically 2+ years for places like ISB and Great Lakes, maybe 3+ for SPJMR, 4+ for IIM Ahmedabad and Kozhikode, and then 5+ years for IIM Calcutta, Lucknow, and Shillong, so a bit more seasoned.
So it spans a range.
Exactly, and generally there's no upper age limit. The average experience for a cohort like IIM Bangalore's EPGP, that's their executive PGP, is around 7 years. But then Great Lakes PGPM reports a slightly younger average, maybe 25 years old, with about 3.2 years experience. So it shows they cater to different career stages.
Interesting mix. What about the standardized tests, GMAT, GRE?
Mm.
Are they still the main gatekeepers? Has that changed at all?
Nope, still mandatory. You absolutely need a valid GMAT or GRE score for all these programs. And while they don't usually set a hard cutoff score, they do give you guidance. IIM Ahmedabad, for example, suggests aiming for the 70th, 75th percentile range in both quant and verbal. We saw IIM Bangalore's EPGP class of 2024 had an average GMAT of 698. Pretty high. Some even hit 760.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's a critical detail we picked up from the sources. Most of these top schools, IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow included, they specifically say online or at home, GMGRE scores are not accepted.
Oh, really? Only test center scores?
Only test center scores are valid. That tells you something about the seriousness and maybe the kind of rigor they're looking for right from the start.
Makes sense. And beyond scores and experience, you mentioned diversity. It sounds like they really value having a mixed group in the classroom.
They absolutely do. And it seems like a very deliberate strategy. Programs like Great Lakes, for instance, actively try to boost diversity, gender, academic background, professional field. We saw numbers like IM Indoors 2025-26 EPGP batch had 8 women 59 men from all sorts of backgrounds. I am Bangalore's EPGP class of 2025, 20 women, 53 men. And the cohorts typically represent like over 40 industries, everything from IT, manufacturing, banking, consulting, healthcare, all the way to defense, law, even journalism.
40 industries, that's broad.
It really is. And the key insight here is that this huge mix creates an incredibly rich learning environment. Peer learning becomes massive. Unique perspectives aren't just welcome, they're essential to how the classes work.
Okay, let's shift to the learning itself. If these programs are about fast-tracking, how do they actually condense so much into just 12 months? What does that intensive year feel like? Is it just nonstop lectures?
Well, this is where it gets really dynamic. The foundation for many of these programs is the case method. I Am a Metabod, for example, really emphasizes its case method of learning. It's all about developing problem-solving skills, making decisions when things are, well, messy and unstructured.
Like real business.
Exactly. You're basically thrown into these real-world business scenarios. You have to analyze, come up with a strategy, defend your thinking. I Am Bangalore, I Am Calcutta, MDI Gurgaon. They also lean heavily on case studies. But it's not just cases. It's usually mixed with lectures, seminars, business simulations, role-playing, lots of group work, like in I Am a Metabod's PGPX program, that's their executive one. It's designed to be super dynamic, challenging, and very, very collaborative.
Sounds incredibly immersive.
Yeah.
Can you give us a feel for the structure? And maybe highlight some courses that stand out, perhaps ones people wouldn't expect.
Sure. The structures are really carefully thought out. They aim for a holistic view, but accelerated. Take I Am Amitabad's MBA PGPX again. It moves in Funas, starts with a quick, intense induction, like 2.5 days, then 4 months of building blocks, the management fundamentals. Then there's a mandatory international immersion. After that, a section on preparing for top management, tackling complex issues, then a whole range of electives where you specialize, and finally, a capstone project to tie it all together.
Okay, that structure makes sense. And the electives?
The electives are where you really get to customize, and you see this great mix of traditional and cutting-edge stuff. You could dive deep into, say, effective management of finance, strategy, and function at IAMA, or explore things like managing energy businesses, or even valuation of new economy firms. Vary. And for the data-minded, there are courses like data visualization for decision-making at IAMA or data science for business at IMB. But then if you're more into leadership and organizational stuff, you might find business turnaround and organizational transformation or inspired leadership through personnel mastery. And here's a unique one, understanding Bhagavad Gita, managerial perspective.
Wow, Bhagavad Gita for managers. That's unexpected.
Right. It shows how these programs let you build your leadership toolkit in diverse ways, whether it's through advanced analytics or, exploring ancient wisdom for modern management insights.
That's quite a spectrum. So in this packed year, is there room for things like innovation and entrepreneurship? Or is that more of a niche interest?
Oh, it's definitely becoming a bigger focus, not just niche. Amenabad has electives like social entrepreneurship, innovating social change, and another called connecting communities and corporations for frugal innovations, which gets into things like the long tail of innovations and how deviance, dissent, and diversity can actually spark creativity.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, and ISB actively promotes entrepreneurship at ISB's specialized courses, access to alumni mentors. SBJMR has some unique teaching methods too, like a personal growth lab and something called Development of Corporate Citizen, where students work with NGOs. Plus, design thinking for tackling unstructured problems. Great Lakes even revamped their program, calling it PGPM 2.0. They added new specializations like consulting, data science, product management, and analytics, and these impact skill labs to sharpen real-world skills, communication, storytelling, data viz.
So it's not just theory, they're building practical skills too.
Very much so. These aren't just academic exercises. They're really focused on developing skills you can use immediately.
And how do they connect students to the actual business world beyond the coursework?
They work hard to bridge that gap. A lot of programs have things like a leadership talk series or a being a CEO series. They bring top industry figures, government officials onto campus. We saw this at IM Calcutta and MDI Gurgaon. IM Ahmedabad holds speaker series and industry exhibitions, which are kind of like enhanced career fairs. There are loads of opportunities for live industry projects. Like at MDI Gurgaon, IM Lucknow really emphasizes industry-related assignments and getting students into real management contexts.
So lots of real-world interaction.
Absolutely. That focus on practical application is a constant theme. They want to make sure you're not just learning concepts, but seeing how they play out.
Okay, one thing that really jumped out from the material was the focus on global exposure. How do they pack that in just 1 year and make sure graduates are genuinely ready for a global business world.
Yeah, that seems to be a totally non-negotiable part for most of these programs. It's a real cornerstone. The International Immersion Program, or IIP, is compulsory at IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Bangalore, and IIM Indore. It's usually an intense 2 or 3 weeks abroad. IIM Lucknow's IPMX, that's their international program for executives, has a similar overseas module, also 2 to 3 weeks. Their 17th batch, for example, went to ASEG School of Management in Paris. They studied emerging tech, visited businesses in places like Brussels and Geneva.
Sounds like more than just a study tour.
Oh, definitely. The goals are really clear. Learn how to work effectively in different cultures, get a deep understanding of macro-level dynamics in economies you're not familiar with. It's intense learning. And it's recognized, too. IIM Bangalore's IIP was ranked #1 in India and #7 globally by the Financial Times in 2024. That says a lot about its impact.
7th worldwide, that's impressive.
It is, and places like ISB also offer international exchange programs with over 50 partner schools around the world, so you really get that global perspective woven in.
Okay, so you have this intense learning, the global piece. What does it all lead to, career-wise? What kind of outcomes can people realistically expect, especially given how fast-paced it is?
Right, that's the bottom line question for anyone considering this, isn't it? What does it mean for your career? The main aim is usually to get you ready for senior leadership roles, and often to enable pretty significant career shifts, maybe changing industries or functions. Now, specific placement stats can vary, and some places, like IIM Lucknow, actually have a policy of not disclosing them.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Their material suggests it's to keep the focus on learning and transformation, not just immediate job outcomes. But they all strongly highlight their career development services and, crucially, their powerful alumni networks. Great Lakes, though, did report some numbers. For their PGPM 2025 batch, an average CTC cost to company, basically the salary package of 17.8 lakhs per annum. Highest was 30.8 LPA. And a big chunk, 61%, went into consulting roles.
So consulting is a big destination.
Seems to be, yeah. But stepping back from just the numbers, the alumni testimonials we saw consistently talk about transformative experiences. You hear graduates saying the programs rewire their thinking or help them learn to question the status quo. Developing that skill of dealing with ambiguity comes up a lot, getting a 360-degree understanding of business. And alumni from these programs, they're often in senior leadership roles globally: IT, banking, consulting, FMCG, retail, you name it. Many report really accelerated a career progression after the program and gaining strategic insights and that kind of leadership finesse needed for complex business challenges.
But it sounds like you need to be proactive to make the most of the career services given the short time frame.
Absolutely. The year flies by. You have to hit the ground running with career planning, too.
Makes sense. And what about life outside the classroom? How does campus life support this intense journey? Is it all work, no play?
Well, it's designed to be truly immersive. That's why they're all fully residential. The thinking is a lot of the learning actually happens outside the classroom through constant interaction, those late-night group projects, peer debates.
Right, the informal learning.
Exactly. Campuses like IIM Ahmedabad offer housing for single students and also for those with families married student housing. They've got all the facilities: Wi-Fi, modern classrooms, syndicate rooms for group study, sports facilities, even things like on-campus medical dispensaries and creches for families.
Creches, okay. So they accommodate families.
Some do, yes. And location matters, too. IIM Bangalore is right in India's tech and startup hub. IIM Lucknow's Noida campus benefits from being close to all the industry in Delhi NCR. So, yeah, it's a pressure cooker environment, definitely, but it's also meant to be a supportive ecosystem.
Okay, and the million rupee question, or maybe the 30 lakh question. What's the financial investment like? And are there decent financial aid options?
Yeah, the fees do vary quite a bit. Ahmedabad's MBA PGPX, for instance, was running around INR 30 to 32 lakhs, and that usually doesn't include the travel and stay for the international immersion.
Right, that's extra.
Usually, yes. IML Lucknow's IPMX is listed at INR 26 lakhs, plus airfare for their overseas module. SPJMR's PGPM was around INR 21.5 lakhs. These fees typically cover tuition, course materials, and basic campus accommodation. Things like utilities, food, travel, those are generally extra costs to factor in.
So a significant investment. What about help? Scholarships? Loans?
Definitely options available. Scholarships exist. IIM Ahmedabad offers interest waiver scholarships, plus entry and exit scholarships based on need or merit. Great Lakes has diversity and merit scholarships, even full tuition waivers for top candidates, and they specifically reserve at least 30% for women.
That's good to see, yeah.
ISB provides financial support to about a quarter of its students through 9 different scholarship categories, and they mention giving preference to people who apply in the earlier rounds.
So applying early might help with aid, too.
It seems so. And for loans, many nationalized and private banks offer education loans specifically for these programs. Some even provide collateral-free loans up to INR 30 lakhs.
Collateral free up to 30 lakhs, okay.
Yeah, so while it's a big ticket price, there are definitely established pathways for financial support. Hashtag tag our trail rester.
Well, we have taken quite the deep dive today into this really compelling world of one-year MBA programs in India. We've explored the intensive curricula, the crucial global immersion pieces, and the pretty remarkable career transformations they seem to enable. You've heard about the diverse student groups, the tough case-based learning, and those incredibly valuable alumni networks that help graduates lead in, well, a world that's changing faster than ever. It's a whirlwind year, no doubt, but clearly designed for maximum impact.
Yeah, if we zoom out for just a second, these programs aren't really just about getting another degree, are they? They're more like a concentrated boot camp for professional and personal growth. They're meticulously designed to arm you with strategic thinking, advanced leadership skills, all in this highly accelerated format. And that word transformative just keeps coming up, pushing people to unlearn the obvious, learn to question the status quo, basically to fundamentally rethink how they approach business and leadership.
So what does all this mean for you, listening right now, as you think about your own professional journey, your next steps? How might this kind of intense one-year experience not just bump you up the career ladder, but actually reshape your entire approach to leading, to solving problems, especially in this complex global landscape? Maybe what parts of this accelerated journey, the intensity, the global aspect, the career pivot potential, what resonates most with your own aspirations right now? Something to think about.
Yeah.